welcome to another day of adventures with Wes and Jeff, and we are at Channel Islands National Park in Southern California. The Channel Islands consist of 5 Channel Islands, and they range in size, but they go from San Miguel to Santa Rosa, Santa Barbara, Anacapa, Santa Cruz, right, Santa Cruz being the largest.
Very rare species. Cool. So you might see some when you go to Santa Rosa.
At Channel Islands Visitor Center, you walk up these stairs. It's about 3 stories up, and then there's a really great view where you can look out over to the Channel Islands and identify each of the islands and peer through the little scope in order to zoom in on each of the islands. If you can't make it out there, or even if you're in preparation of going out to the islands for the day. So it's a kind of a cool little exhibit on all the different diverse things that are here at the Channel Islands. And they call the Channel Islands California's Galapagos because of the diversity of the animal life as well as the uniqueness of the flora and fauna that's found at the Channel Islands. So we're at the visitor center. There's an outdoor portion that's right here by the harbor where you can take the boat out to the islands. But this is located in Ventura, California, in Southern California, about 70 miles north of Los Angeles, the greater Los Angeles area. So Jeff's with me today, yay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the 5 different islands and kind of give you a description of each of the islands and what makes each one unique. Tomorrow we will be taking the ferry out to Santa Rosa Island, which is the 2nd largest, and exploring that island with you. So on this tour, we're going to go through each of the islands. This is, the first one is San Miguel, which is the furthest west.
It's the westernmost island, receives the brunt of the northwesterly winds, fog, and severe weather from the open ocean. The cold, nutrient-rich water surrounding the 9,008-mile-long, 4-mile-wide is home to a diversity of sea life, including one of the largest and most diverse seal and sea lion rookeries in the world. Submerged rocks make the nearly 28-mile coastline a mariner's nightmare. Rough seas and risky landings did not daunt the Chumash and their ancestors who lived here for nearly 12,000 years. Ranchers raised sheep from 1850 to 1948. Later, the Navy used the island for a bombing range. Today, native species are making recovery in this great sanctuary.
So that was San Miguel Island. Pretty interesting. It's the furthest most western island of the 5. The next one is the Santa Rosa Island. That is the island that we will be visiting tomorrow, and it's the 2nd largest island, and it's 53,051 acres. It's 15 miles long and 10 miles wide, and it has rolling hills, deep canyons, and a coastal lagoon and beaches, even sand dunes. So for thousands of years, unusual animals and plants have made this windswept island their home. Flightless geese and giant mice, pygmy mammoths are now extinct, while the island fox, spotted skunk, and the munchkin dudleya, a 6 plant species found only on this island in the world. So the Chumash Native Americans and their ancestors lived here for over 13,000 years. The ranchers raised sheep and cattle from 1844 to 1998. So the U.S. military used the island from 1943 through 1963. The National Park Service has made great efforts to preserve and protect island resources, including restoring the native species. The Chumash called Santa Rosa Wima, W-I-M-A, or red pine. And because they built plank canoes from the redwood logs, they brought ashore by the channel currents. So that's a pretty interesting thing. They use the canoes, the plank canoes, they use the natural oil, the petroleum that actually seeped up through this area, and they sealed their canoes with the oils. The next one is the Santa Cruz Island. It's the largest of the islands.
And here are pristine beaches, rugged mountains, lonely canyons, grass-covered hills, and some animals and plants that you have never seen before. The paradise is Santa Cruz Island, the largest island in the national park. It is split by a central valley along the Santa Cruz Island Fault, and it is the most biologically diverse island within the park, with 650 plant species, 6 of which are unique, 6 endemic animals, and 9 endemic land birds, including the island scrub jay. The island is rich in cultural history with over 10,000 years of American Indian habitation and over 150 years of European exploration and ranching. The Chumash call Santa Cruz Limua, or in the sea.
So the next island is Anacapa. The Anacapa Island is the closest one to Ventura and Oxnard, and it's only an hour away by boat, versus the Santa Rosa Island is 3 hours by boat. There's Jeff being silly. We gotta throw that in there. Okay. So the Anacapa Island, it looks like this. It's got a higher peak, and then it goes down to the lower area. But it's 12 miles from the mainland, so it's the closest. And a 5-mile long spine of rock emerges from the ocean and breaks into 3 inlets, the east, middle, and west Anacapa. It is home to 265 plant species and a lot of seals and sea lions and seabirds, including the largest brown pelican rookery in the United States. The islands are surrounded by a rich diversity of marine life and its kelp forests and tide pools. Archaeological evidence shows that the Chumash visited for over 5,000 years. Ranchers raised sheep from 1869 until the 1930s, and the U.S. Coast Guard built a light station in 1932. It was the last lighthouse on the Pacific coast. Today, the National Park Service, along with the visitors, work to restore the island's native species. The Chumash called Anacapa Mirage. And the last of the islands is called the Santa Barbara Island. It's the smallest of the islands.
And it's characterized by steep cliffs, 644 acres, or about 1 square mile, rising above rocky shores to a grassy mesa, flanked with twin peaks. The Tongava people fished here, explorers, seal and abalone hunters, ranchers, and the military also contributed to the island's rich cultural history. Today, after years of species and habitat loss, animals and native vegetation are making a remarkable recovery. Among those found here are the Scripps murrelet, a seabird that nests in crevices in the cliffs, and the Santa Barbara Island live forever, a rare plant found only on this island. The Tongva call Santa Barbara Siwa, or Captain.
So that's kind of a recap of the 5 islands that comprise of the Channel Islands National Park. This is one of 2 visitor centers that they have in the park, and this one is located in Ventura. The other one is located in Santa Barbara, just north of here, and it's an outdoor one. But this has like a little tide pool on the inside of it, because we're in a harbor here, and the tide pool washes in and washes out, and they have a ranger-led explanation of tide pools and how that all works. Islands Visitor Center here in Ventura, and this is the ocean view out to the Channel Islands, and you can see that Santa Cruz is right out there, Santa Cruz Island, and of course the garden shack. There's Jeffrey taking a walk on the beach. And we are at the pier for the Channel Islands, and it's Island Packers is the company that's the concessionaire for the National Park Service to go out and visit on these ferries to each of the islands. So we're going to Santa Rosa Island today, and Santa Rosa is about a 3-hour ride each direction, and there's quite a few people lined up to go because they do have one stop, and that is at the Santa Cruz Island, which is the largest one. So this is the boat we'll be riding on, and this plane can go down. So there's also kayakers that are going on our ship, as well as overnighter backcountry packers that they haul over there. There's a campground on Santa Rosa that is 15 camping spots. So those folks will be on the excursion with us. I just wanted to show you how many people are going to get on this boat. I'm going to flip this around. So this is all the folks. These are all the backpackers they put in one area here at the Ventura boat yard, and that's the boat there. It's early morning. It leaves at 8 o'clock sharp, so they want you to be here 45 minutes prior to departure. And here's some other folks that are going over for a day trip. And then this is the line to go for just regular passengers, the day trippers that are going to be going on this excursion. So this is the boat ride out to the islands. It's going to be not as choppy as it normally has been. So that's good news for most everybody on the boat here. But there's the islands off in the distance. There's Jeff. So fortunate enough, Jeff and I don't really get seasick. So we're going to be okay. this ride, but it doesn't seem as bad. But we're gonna start getting, once we get out into the channel, we will probably start to get a little bit more rocky. But there's a fishing boat right there. We're hoping to see some sea life. Usually the dolphins run beside the ship. Sometimes you see a whale. So fortunate enough that they will stop and let us enjoy the sea life while we're on the ship. There we go. Yeah. Oh, they're little. Yeah, they're little.
Look at that. So coming right towards us, about 1 o'clock there. I'm just going to kind of sit here and run over there. That's it. There's these two levels here, kind of 1 to 1:30. Again, the clock face line, flat down on top of the boat. You got 12 o'clock and straight in front of us, and 6 o'clock. And right towards us.
Oh yeah, you can see him. That's cool. He breached right there.
We're going to get some really good looks here.
There he is. Yeah, see he's breaching.
Oh, hi, Rich. Good tail.
Yay, tail. We got a tail.
Off our bow here. About 1 o'clock.
Oh, there he is. Look at that guy. Yeah. You gonna get a tail? A little bit of tail. Santa Cruz Islands in the Channel Islands National Park, and we are just dropping off some folks here. They're going to spend the day here at
Your fuel is
Santa
already on the pier.
Cruz.
When you get off the boat, you can get your fuel out of the fuel box and take it with you right away. Your orientation will take place up on top of the pier.
A lot of
while you
kelp
are getting your
in the
orientation.
water,
Here, and you
a
can collect
couple
it after
beach
you're done.
goers, and you can rent kayaks here. And the popular thing to do at this particular island is to go into the Painted Cave, which is one of the larger caves in the United States. So we were on Santa Rosa Island at the Channel Islands, and we are hiking along the beach because this is low tide. Low tide allows you to be able to go across this outcropping here without getting wet. So you got to time it though, so that you can cross over. Or we might, Jeff is saying we might have to go up this way. But there's the pier where
You get the same thing.
these are really interesting rocks. And so you have to climb up and over and around. But we're gonna do the reverse of getting up here. There we go. And around. A few other folks. Most everybody on the boat went the other direction. So they're gonna have to go inland in order to go around this. But really beautiful, excellent day, weather-wise. There's a few ships out here, super clear water, and nice little hike through. So it's really beautiful. It's so serene, so quiet, and just quite an adventure. Jeff's trekking faster than I am. So along the beach, and look at all this sedimentary rock. Yeah, these were formed by volcanic. That's pretty cool. Yeah, these little ledges come right out. Back in there, you can kind of hang out. So here at Channel Islands National Park, we are on Santa Rosa Island, one of the 5 islands that comprise Channel Islands National Park. The area covers 249,354 acres, and there's only about 400,000 people that visit these islands every year, and well, actually the park, and that's usually just the visitor center, not even any of the islands. So the islands themselves, only about 10% of that number. So only about 30 to 40,000 people make it out on the ferry to visit these islands. This became a park back in 1980, but before that it was a national preserve, because to preserve all of these wildlife that exist around these islands and to protect them. There's some unique animals that live on this island. There is the island fox. It's a small fox, and it only resides here in the Channel Islands Park. So it's only the size of like a house cat. So they said you probably won't encounter one, but they're very curious and they will steal things out of your bags. Those and the ravens, so you have to watch for that. So it's the island fox. You can only find here the island spotted skunk, so it's got spots on it, and it has a stinker, and the deer mouse. Those are all unique to here, as well as the Torrey pine. Torrey pine you can find only in San Diego and here. Nowhere else in the world the Torrey pine trees grow. So there's a few other things, but The other thing unique about this particular island is that they found human remains here from 13,000 years ago. The oldest human remains in North America, in all of North America. So they know that the Chumash Indians, the Native Americans, inhabited this area long time ago. So, but now this whole island is a national park, as well as the other 4 islands that make up the Channel Islands. It's a really nice day. We had to strip off all of our coats and jackets that we had on when we were on the little the ferry that brought us over here, and now it's absolutely beautiful. Probably should have brought some suntan lotion because we're probably going to get burnt today, but it's well worth it because we're having a good time. We're just hiking along this long beach. It's called Water Canyon Beach, and it's we're going to do a 3-mile hike today. It's called Water Canyon Hike, and there's the beach that we're walking. The sand is real fine, and of course it makes a footprint when you're walking in it. So not a lot of folks on the beach because they opted to do different directions because we have 3 hours on the island before we have to be on the boat to make it back to the mainland. So this is a pretty cool national park, very unique. Very first time out here. This is our last national park that we haven't been to in the state of California, which there are 9 of them. And so Jeff just picked up that rock and he's gonna skip it. Oh, it skipped pretty good. But you know, one thing about national parks is you cannot take anything away from the national park, even a shell that you find on the beach or a rock or anything like that. So there are rules, but there are rules to keep and preserve our national parks like they need to be. So looking across the water, this water is super clear. A lot of scuba divers come here because the kelp and the fish are beautiful and it's super clear water. Still hiking along this beach. It's 2 miles long. Walking along the beach here at Santa Rosa Island on the Channel Islands, and beautiful beach. That is Santa Cruz off in the distance, and now we're going to start our ascent up into the canyon. Now we're gonna head up this little canyon into Water Canyon. I think we're gonna pass over where the campground is, and then we're gonna loop ourselves back around to where the cowboy camp was, where they had 80,000 sheep on this island, and 80,000 later they had 80,000 head of cattle. And then they had a special pier that they would herd them into and put them on a boat, take them over to the mainland. Quite a little bit of climb up out of the canyon, off of the beach. It's really pretty. A lot of the other folks did the opposite of what we are doing, but we're gonna do this, and because we had low tide, and now it's gonna be starting to get high tide, and won't be able to access the whole beach. So we opted to do that option so that we could experience it this direction. So this will be cool. Out of the canyon from the beach, it's quite an incline, and but then we start getting some nice views of the channel there. and all of their stuff up this trail because the Water Canyon campground is up that way, up in that canyon. 15 campsites. Each of the 5 islands have their own campground. So primitive, no water, no rest. There might be a restroom up there, I'm not sure. But for the most part, just... Oh, there is a restroom. I'm looking at the picture now. And it shows a restroom right there. And then these little shelters so you can put your tent in them because the wind just whips through you. They called this the Cowboy Island because of, see all these fences that are left over from when they ranched this island. And it was the only one that they could ranch on because of the fact that it was sustained, had water supply as well as freshwater supply, as well as it had grazing land. So once the National Park Service took this over, it became back to its natural state. But you know, there's a mixture. It's they only get like 15 inches of rain here, but there is some cactus. There's it's kind of a weird combination. It's some low-lying bushes. It's got some grazing grasses, as well as it's got poppies, California poppy, and some trees, those Torrey pines, and some other low-lying trees, but not a lot. Coming into the campground, and I wanted to show you, each campsite has its own little box. It's not a bear box because there's no bears here, but it's for the island fox. So that island fox will get into your stuff unless you protect it. So, and this is just a picnic area, and they do have potable water here. So, but this is just the day use for folks that are just coming out here for the day, like us, where you can have your picnic lunch while you're here. Just absolutely gorgeous over there. Look at that. That water is so blue and so nice. This is just a really unique part of our national park system. They come out here on these Channel Islands on November the 20th, 2022. It's late in the season, but you know what? It's California, so you get good weather certain times. And yesterday I was talking to the captain of the boat, and he goes, "You guys timed it just right. Yesterday, none of the boats could come out here because the sea swells were up so high because of the Santa Ana winds that they just could not chance it. So they canceled all the boat rides out yesterday. So all the people that have been camping in this little campground of 15 camp spots had to wait until today if they were scheduled to go out yesterday. Coming up on the campground now. Let's jump up ahead. There's the canyon down in there. Water Canyon. And there's the restroom off to the right. And each one has its own little shelter. And that's pretty cool. Just wanted to check out the campground on our way back. Because we've pretty cool as this campground. So we're at Santa Rosa Island, and these are the individual camp spots. So this is what each individual camp spot looks like. It's got a picnic table, and it's got this wind shelter because it gets really windy here. It's made out of wood, and you can hang your stuff on it. You can set your tent up here, and then it has that little island fox box. So, and this is their view of the ocean. Is that cool or what? There. But there are 15 of these spots in the campground. And they're spread out. Nice hiking. It's not level, but it's not too bad. And so we're gonna probably go up to this ridge and just see what that's all about. Taking a huge detour down through that canyon by accident and had to bushwhack our way down back to the main road. But this is the main road that goes to the old ranches and the pier. So 2:29. We have to be back at the boat by 2:45. So 16 minutes to spare, just like Wes and Jeff style of just barely making it and making it a true adventure. So, but beautiful views, other than that last little trek where we had to divert through that canyon, try and hook two trails together to figure out our way. Wasn't too bad, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful, great day, and looking forward to the sunset on the way back on our boat ride. Back in the ranching days on this island, these are some of the barns and the corrals that are left over from the 80,000 sheep, 80,000 cattle that they had on the property. So pretty interesting that they preserved that, other than these structures where it's a barn and different things, corrals right here at the pier. There's nothing really left except for the National Park Service has their housing for their rangers that live here on the island. So pretty cool. Some old fences. This was a ranch back in 1820s. And Basqueros, the Mexican cowboys, were wrangling these sheep and cattle in this area. This is the trail. It goes through here. You can see everybody's headed back to the boat. So pretty cool. around at the Channel Islands National Park, and we were coming up on a place that's called Painted Cave.
Different kinds of caves all around you on the right day. You certainly have options to explore.
But
Let's take a look at this one. Oh, this one, the blimp hanger. This isn't the painted cave, but we're just going for a quick look.
oh, it's not the Painted
nice
Cave, it's a
and calm.
different one.
Really,
Look
really
at
like
this. It's a very calm
But,
day.
maybe a future painted cave here. Didn't really ever go that close to this one, so let's check it out. I'm sure if you were in there in a kayak, it would look a lot bigger.
Really cool. Look at
Mother Nature is hard at work trying to make this one every bit as spectacular.
the Painted
wherever
Cave.
you want to be. It's looking like it's going to be a good day for it. We'll here soon enough. But please, out of respect for this beautiful place, the animals that live in the cave, and the Native Americans that hold this place in very high regard, very sacred place for them, please keep the noise down to a minimum. Hooting, hollering, yelling echo, whistling, shouting, things like that. You already make enough noise as it is going in there. A lot of criteria for just sheer impressiveness. What really makes it interesting is it goes a quarter mile into the island, so it gets a little bit smaller as you go back there, so obviously you can't go all the way back. But we'll go as far back as we can. Anyways, best enjoy it outside with your favorite cold beverage in hand, so we'll go take a look. And as we kind of slowly make our way in, just take notice of all the different hues and colors in the rock. Some of it just from minerals leaching through the rock, lichens and mosses, algae, small plants show up, all kinds of things, but nothing painted per se by any people. Anyways, here it goes, and we'll check it out.
It really doesn't look like we're gonna fit.
I know.
What do you think? Okay, it's getting really narrow. Oh, he's inching up more. Wow. This thing, I wish I had footage of the back looking in. Whoa. Oh boy. Gets you way back in here. This is so awesome. This is like the highlight of the trip, I think. Coming into this sea cave, and he pulled this baby all the way back in here, so this is amazing. If you get an opportunity to go to Santa Rosa Island and the Channel Islands, be sure and take this tour that takes you into the sea cave. It is awesome. Hit the like button there, or hit subscribe, and get out into the great outdoors and do something that makes you smile. This definitely made me smile today. I really enjoyed it.